One of my favorite music books, What You Know About the Music Business, or All You Need to Know About the Music Business, by Donald West Passman. So many gems. If you do music or you're in the entertainment world, you can get gems from there too. Alright, so we're going to start at chapter 6 where we left off. Agents. Role. Agents in the music business are different from agents in the film business. While agents in the film business are the major power brokers in the industry, controlling most aspects of it. Agents in the music industry are involved primarily in booking live personal appearances. Concerts, music agents are often involved in commercials, endorsements, tower sponsorship, television specials, and other areas. But they don't participate in or get paid for records, songwriting, or merchandising. Thus, they are involved in every area of the artist's life in a way that managers and lawyers are. So even though agents are extremely powerful players, their fear of influence is limited. Fees. Because agents aren't involved in your recording or songwriting, with the possible exception of film music, as we'll discuss on page 63. Or your merchandising, you should never give them a piece of the income from those areas. Usually agents don't ask for this, but be careful of union forms as noted in the next paragraph. Agents are regulated by the unions, AFM, American Federation of Musicians, for musicians, SAG-AFTRA, a union formed by merging for vocalists and actors on live and digitally recorded music with SAG, Screen Actors Guild, for film, and the Actors Equity Association for live stage. The unions put a cap on how much the agents could charge, namely 10%, for certain personal appearances under AFM jurisdiction. It could be more than 10%. However, the agents really agree to a 10% maximum if you ask. The AFM and AFTRA printing forms have a place for you to initial if the agency gets commissions on your earnings from records. Watch out for it. Never do this. The union regulation of agencies is called franchising, and unions only allow their members to be represented by franchise agents, meaning though the agents who agree to the union's restrictions. One of those restrictions is that the agency can only use contracts approved by the union, which results in each union having its own PEP form, spelling out that the union's particular requirements. So your agency contract looks like a fat coffee table book. Actually, it's a stack of separate contracts. 3 for SAG, 1 for films, 1 for film TV, and 1 for film commercials. 1 for AFM, 1 for AFTRA, 1 for Actors Equity, and 2 called General Services and Packaging to pick up everything that isn't covered up by a union. Don't tell them I told you, but some agents will discount their percentage to as low as 5% for artists generating major revenues. This is only for concerts. They stay at 10% for films, TV, etc., unless you're a major hitter in those areas. And even then, they might not budge. Sometimes there's a sliding scale so that as your income goes up, the percentage goes down. The industry goes through cycles as easy as it is to get a discount. So you have to check out the situation when it's relevant to you. Deal points. Term. The agency will ask for 3 or more years, and you will want to give them only 1 year. Shorter is better for you because you can split if things don't work out, or squeeze their commission down if things do. The result of this wrestling match depends on your bargaining power. If you give more than a year, you should have the right to get out after each year. If you don't earn minimum levels, see the discussion of this under personal managers deals on page 38. Agency deals work the same way, except the numbers are lower because they don't represent all areas of your life. If you have some clout, you may never sign any papers at all, although some agencies get snippy about this. Scope. If you're involved in the film business, for example, if you're a musical artist and also an actress, songwriter, director, etc., and if the agency is in both the film and the music business, the trend is for agencies to insist on representing you in all areas. Thus, an agency representing you in the film business will require you to sign with them for your musical concerts and vice versa. This may or may not be to your advantage, and it becomes more negotiable as your bargaining power increases. Some agencies have a firm policy and won't let you in the door without a full package. Others are more flexible. Exclusions. Similar to personal managers deals, see page 35. You can exclude certain monies from commission. 1. As we just discussed, you can exclude earnings from records and songwriting without any difficulty. However, some agencies try to commission your soundtrack album royalties if the album is derived from a film in which they got you work as an actor or actress. I tried to resist this, and I've been pretty successful for established artists. The agency's main argument is that if you have no career as an actor or actress, and the agency is instrumental in creating one, they should get paid on everything you get from being involved in the film. If you do agree to this, make sure it only kicks in if you're getting a major part in the film. It isn't fair for an agent to commission your earnings for musical performances. For example, your fee for singing the title song, your soundtrack, album royalties, etc. Just because you're on screen for 10 seconds to tell the doctor she has a phone call, your argument is that you don't need the agency to get your music into motion pictures. Unless, of course, you do. So they shouldn't be commissioning an area in which you already have a career. The argument is that if they move you into a new arena, acting, and the soundtrack album is merely an aid to doing it, they should get paid on everything. Results vary with bargaining power. These are agencies that specialize in getting motion picture musical work for artists. In that case, of course, the agency will get commissions on your fee for writing music and or singing and your record royalties as well. They normally don't commission singer, songwriter, performance royalties, which are monies we'll discuss on page 225. 2. You should include things like book publishing, if you're so inclined, merchandising and record producing. You should also try to exclude commercials. Through this, it's getting harder. Even they find you work, I like to say that they can't look for employment in these areas without your consent. The way they don't come running in with a basketball or a basket full of offers if you aren't in the market or if you just don't want them involved. Three, you can exclude costs of collection before applying the commission, as we discussed in manager deals on page 37. In other words, if you have to sue a deadbeat to get paid, you should deduct the cost of the lawsuit from your recovery before the agent gets his or her commission. Termination of the agency. As we discussed above, your agency deal is a stack of union forms. Each of these union agreements have a clause saying you could terminate if the agent doesn't get you work or an offer of work for 90 days. Since they are separate agreements with separate terms, you want a provision that says you can get out of all those deals if you have the right to terminate any one of them. Without this, the agency would represent you in some areas but not others because they all have different termination criteria. This clause is a bit hard to get if you only work in the music era and music area. Since you've never had a film career, the agency can reasonably argue that they can't be expected to produce one in 90 days. The usual compromise is to say that if the AFM or AFTRA agreement, the ones covering the music area, can be terminated for failing to get you work, then you can get out of everything. Territory. Excuse me. If you're a new or even mid-level artist and you're based in the United States, it's difficult to give an agency less than worldwide rights. If you're a non-U.S. artist and already have a deal outside the U.S. with another agency, then this isn't so difficult. Even if the U.S. artist, however, you can sometimes exclude territories outside the United States if you have enough clout. This is often beneficial because you can hire agents in Europe or elsewhere who specialize in these markets. In fact, some U.S. agencies use a local sub-agent for foreign territories, and you can thus eliminate the middleman. The major U.S. agencies, however, all have their own shops over there. At a high enough level, you might even eliminate a foreign agent altogether and deal directly with the concert promoters through your lawyer and personal manager if they have the expertise. On the other hand, even if the U.S. agency uses a sub-agent, they don't just sit there idly while the sub-agent does all the work. The American agency oversees the foreign agent and makes sure the shows are properly promoted, that you get paid on time, etc. It's also easier to deal with someone locally than to get up at strange hours and call around the world. Double commissions. Just like personal management deals, there should be no double commissions if you have a corporation. See page 43. Picking an agent. If you have a personal manager, you'll have only occasional contact with your agent. You may meet when you first set up your tours, and you'll see them at your shows. Well, they'll tell you it's the best performance they've ever seen. The rest of the time, he or she talks to your personal manager and to a lesser degree to your lawyer and business manager. Thus, picking an agent should be primarily handled by your manager. since he or she deals with the agent most of the time, but you should make the final decision. If you don't have a manager, the agent will report directly to you. In this case, the criteria for picking your agent should be the same as picking a manager. So take another look at page 44. As always, make sure you get a good vibe from whoever you're hiring. Thank y'all for y'all time. That was one of my favorite music books. All you need to know about the music business by Donald Passman. We're going to stop at 65. And later tomorrow, we'll be going into part 2, which is record deals. Chapter 7, broad strokes overview of the record business. And the paragraph will be industry structure. Thank y'all for y'all time. Thank y'all for tuning in. Keep thriving. Reaching your goals. The best is yet to come. We global.